Well, hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Eek Acres. I wanted to talk in this video about something because I don't know what's changed. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the one that's changed. God knows I haven't felt the same since having my nephrectomy surgery done back in February. I find that I get irritated very, very quickly anymore. And today is the 4th of July. And Bridget called the supermarket that's up the road from us to see if they were open, and they said they were. And so we wanted to go pick up some supplies so we have the things that we need for doing something this weekend, so we can pack our own lunches and drinks and whatever. We live in an area that is one of the biggest tourist areas in New York. A very big tourist area. Once June rolls around, the population in this area and this township quadruples. It is crawling with people today. Everything that we did today was getting under my skin, because these people that come here, they act so entitled and act like they own the place, and that irritates me because they just don't have any common sense or courtesy. And I really don't know what's wrong with people today. But as we were going to the store, the first thing that happened was there was a state trooper coming the opposite direction on this 2-lane road with his lights and siren on. So I put on my right turn signal and I start to gradually move over onto the berm. While this out-of-stater tourist behind me wasn't watching and paying attention that there was a state cop coming, because everybody on the opposite side of the road was pulling over. I'm pulling over. Does he pull over behind me and get over too? No. He pulls up next to me in the lane of traffic, so he's even with me as this cop is flying by, and this guy's right out in the road, and I'm looking at him like, what the hell are you doing? He was literally going to pass me, and he didn't see the cop until the last second. So then I had to move out and get out and ahead of him to continue on, because this guy was just going to go around me. And then we get to the grocery store, and oh my God, was that place packed with people today. But it's not about crowds of people or people not paying attention. It's the fact that people just don't give a damn anymore. We go into the grocery store, they took away the little carts and put out brand new big carts. Now it makes it harder to get through the store because the aisles are so skinny, because this is just a small town grocery store. Very narrow aisles. And this store was packed to capacity with people. I mean, every single aisle in every department everywhere, from produce end all the way down to the beer end, was full of people. And there was this guy ahead of me as I come around the corner between an aisle display and the produce and the yogurt. And this guy's got 2 carts, and he's got his wife and his kids with him, and 2 kids are in the cart, and he's got his wife and him, and he's got 2 carts, and they're right in the middle of the aisle. I can't get around them on either side. And so I stop, and Bridget's right behind me. And then I start leaning down my arms on the cart, and I'm just looking at this guy. And he's looking at me, and he continues talking to his wife. He's looking around at things on what to get to put in his cart, and then he's looking at his wife, and he's talking to his wife, and then the wife starts yelling at the kids, and she says, if you don't cut it out right now, you're both going to get a spanking. And I'm standing there waiting for them to get out of the way, and they just don't get out of the way. And I'm looking at this guy, and he sees me waiting to get through. I don't know if he expected me to turn around and go the other way or what. So I waited, and I waited, and then he finally pushed the one cart that had the kids in it out of the way, and then he slowly takes his cart and he backs up and he stops, and he's still looking around, and then he backed up some more, and he left me barely enough room to get between his cart and the edge of the refrigeration unit where all the yogurt was. You go through the whole store and everybody is just in the way. they don't even get out of the way. They don't move. I don't know what the hell is wrong with people, but people make me feel like I'm the one that should be ashamed of how I feel. Like I should be ashamed of myself that I'm feeling and thinking what I am, because they're all irritating the shit out of me and pissing me off. And I told Bridget, I said, is it just me? Is it just me, or is there something wrong with people today? Or is it my problem? Is there something just wrong with me and you're not seeing what I'm seeing? She says, oh no. She says, I see what you're seeing. She says, I just don't say anything. Then I go to check out. I use my debit card, pay for the groceries. And then the guy says, oh, is this yours too? And he forgot to ring up the watermelon. And then he says, I need your bonus card again for the discount. And so I get out my wallet and I'm thinking, nobody pays attention today. And so then I paid for the watermelon with cash because I didn't feel like inserting my debit card again. And we get out to the parking lot, and the parking lot is packed with people. And all the cars are from out of state. Every state you can imagine. And this is what it's like here in the summertime, just choked with tourists. And I get out there and I unlock the van. I slide open the side slider door. And I go to put what was in my arms in the van. And I stepped in this huge, fresh wad of bubble gum that someone just spit on the frickin' parking lot. And I was like, son of a bitch. And I'm dragging my foot backwards and dragging it backwards, trying to get it off my bottom of my shoe so it doesn't get all over my brake pedal and accelerator in the van. I told Bridget, I says, do you see now why I don't like going out in public? They're inconsiderate, they're rude. They don't even say hi to you or excuse me or sorry, and then they get out of your way, nothing. And I wasn't in a huge hurry. I'm just going through the store like a normal customer. And these people just act like it's their store and you have no right being there because these tourists come here and spend a lot of money and they have a very entitled mindset. And they act like they have more rights than the locals do. And I landscaped inside the Chautauqua Institution. I dealt with these people that own homes up inside that place. And they are some of the most rudest, inconsiderate people you could ever meet. Very unfriendly. And I told Bridget, I says, I just can't deal with huge amounts of people anymore. And it's not because I don't like people. It's because the way they are. They are so rude and inconsiderate and don't give a damn that you're trying to walk somewhere or trying to park somewhere. They don't care. My tolerance is greatly diminished, and I think it's because I don't feel good. And so I don't take it out on people. I don't go out of my way to treat people bad. I keep my mouth shut, but inside my mind is on fire. And I just want to say to someone when I'm waiting and waiting and waiting in an aisle to get through, even though I don't say anything, I just want to say, will you get the fuck out of my way? That's what I'm thinking in my mind. But I keep my mouth shut because if I have to stand there and wait that long for you to move, you deserve to be told that. And I'm getting to the point where, you guys, I can't stand going out in public because of the inconsiderate people. Now, there's a lot of nice people out there. There's a lot of good people out there. But I'm talking about these people that come from God knows where, and they just don't have any common sense. They don't have any manners. They don't have what everybody should know, that if you're in the way of someone, move, step aside, back up, give them some room, let them through. What in the hell is wrong with people? I encounter this so much. I told Bridget, I says, now do you see why a lot of times you go to the store by yourself? Maybe the problem is me. Maybe it's because I just don't have the patience anymore. Maybe it's just because I don't feel good anymore. Maybe it's a lot of things, a culmination of things. I just can't tolerate it anymore. And back in the day, it was never like this. I mean, I didn't mind going around a lot of people because back in the day, I'd go to huge concerts where there was tens of thousands of people. Or I'd go to a nightclub to go see a band perform, and the place was filled to capacity. And it didn't bother me back in those days. But that was years and years and years ago. Now today, when you go out and you deal with people, it's like, oh my God, it's like a totally different world. Totally different world of how rude and inconsiderate people are. It just drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. And so I have to avoid it because of the way they are. If I were in the way of somebody, I would immediately move and get out of their way. I'd say, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. And I'd let them through. I wouldn't just stare at you with two carts taking up the whole frickin' aisle. That's basically half an aisle because there was that center display. So it's super narrow. And I had to wait for them to back behind it so I could get through. Because there was other people behind me in the produce section. So I was trapped. I didn't have anywhere to go. And the guy's just looking at me like, do you need something? This is why I like being in nature, you guys. It's the only thing that de-stresses me. It's nature's antidepressant. It's no wonder I piss blood all the time. But let me know down in the comments below, you guys. Is this something that's wrong with me? Am I the only one that feels like this? Am I the only one that gets this upset over what would be considered petty stuff? You know, when someone does not, in a courteous way, let you through, get out of your way. You know, like I got all day to stand there while he talks to his wife and she yells at her kids. I don't know, you guys. Let me know down below what you think is wrong with people today. Or is it just me? Is there something wrong with me? The more I go around people, the more I'd rather be out in the middle of nowhere in the wilderness and just be among nature and the wild animals and God's creation and fuck being around people. I can't deal with it. I just can't. The more people there are, the worse the situation is. And it doesn't seem like it's going to ever improve either. I don't know what happened to this world along the way, but something happened and people are just so different today that it's just unfrickin' believable. I mean, I even saw a woman that got an ice cream cone. She just bought the ice cream cone and then she grabbed the top of it with her hand and pulled it off the cone and threw it on the ground and ate the cone. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. I don't know what's wrong with people. Anyway, that's my rant for today. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.